Hedy soldiers, welcome to my floor. Why am I sitting on my floor? I don't know. My brain told me that it would give me some dopamine if I did. And it has yet to uphold its end of the bargain, yet here we are. I'm also drinking coffee way too late at night to give myself a personality. I'd also like to point out that this is a pink banana Starbucks mug, which when I first saw it, I thought that is the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Who in their right mind wants a pink banana mug? And it's me, I really want it. My aunt got it for me and I've never been so happy to unbox something in my life. I mean, everybody here, including myself, should be grateful this is just coffee, because it was going to be alcohol. Tonight for dinner, I had a hot dog and one jumbo marshmallow. So that's a look into where my mental state is at currently. I've wanted to do a mid-year book freakout tag for like 3 years now, and I always forget, so not this time. Ha! And I'm caffeinated to boot. I have a feeling this video is gonna go downhill from here. Okay, what's question one? Actually, before we begin, I had to look this up on Goodreads because I have no concept of time anymore. So I went to, like, oh god. If you can see, I have currently read 50 books this year, which tracks. I also just dumped all the books in a pile on this floor, so we're gonna have to just dig around a little for the first one. So, question one is the best book that you've read so far in 2019. I'm gonna cheat slightly, but you know what? It's my own video, and I can do what I want. I say I'm cheating because this technically came out in 2018, but I started reading it in 2018. Rachel, it's 2020 now, I think? You mean 2019. I started reading it in 2019, but I didn't finish it until some month of 2020, and that is this hefty boy, which is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is the book I want a Game of Thrones to be, you know? It's hardcore fantasy, there's some dragons, and there's a lot of integral politicking going around. We have different races, we have different ethnicities, we have different religions, we have politics surrounding all three, we have magical sleeper agents, and then a whole lot of dragons. Oh my god, there's a pirate battle in the middle of the sea with dragons, and it may have been my favorite thing that I read this year because, oh, I still think about that. There was so many ways it could have gone wrong, and it didn't go wrong in any of them, hence why I give this a 5 out of 5 stars. Plus, this did a very good twist on something that I've wanted to read for so long that I've always wondered about, and that's kind of the 1,000 years later, once the curse or spell has worn off, and what is going to happen now that an old enemy rises, and that happens with this, but with dragons. Got the scary flying flap monsters with the burning inferno mouths, and they're coming for you. Number 2 in this tag is the best sequel of 2019. Oh, I'm using 2019 questions. That's why I just copy pasted and they're still 2019. Anyway, best sequel that I've read so far in the year 2020. Considering I've only read 2, it was kind of an easy choice. I have a problem with finishing series, okay? I choose Aurora Burning by Amy Coffin and Jay Kristoff. Aurora Rising, I was kind of like meh about. Like, it was good enough to maybe read the sequel considering that I really like the authors. And then they upped their game in this one. They took that dial and they cranked it all the way to 100 and they went, go for it. No holds barred. Way more action, way more relationships, way more laser fights, way more wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Got more character development of characters I actually care about. We got some more of our old characters. We got some new characters introduced that I am so down for. This had the kind of ending that made me want to throw the book, and that doesn't happen very often. But Kaufman and Kristoff, y'all, I was distressed upon finishing this book, and that's why I loved it so much. Number 3 is a new release that you haven't read but want to, and the one that I want to read so very badly is A Song of Wraith and Ruin by Roseanne Brown. We got vengeful spirits kidnapping younger sisters, and then a princess who needs someone's heart to end a curse, question mark, get somebody back. Resurrection! Oh, forgot about that when I ordered it. This also has been being hyped to high heaven on the internet, which means that I need it. Plus, it just matches everything, and it's my color, you know? Ooh, I am a fiend for that aesthetic. It's not even question 4 and the caffeine's kicked in. I'm really sweaty. Number 4 is the most anticipated read for the end half of 2020. How's it already July? And that is, to no one's surprise, because this is literally every single person's most anticipated read, and that is The Invisible Life of Hedy Larue by V.E. Schwab. I recently watched a live panel of hers for TorCon, and she said that this book has been 9 or 10 years in the making. And not only is it like a bang of plot line, but just hearing the way that she talks about this book just makes me so happy, and like, I just feel feelings before I've even started it. which is a good sign. Number 5 is your biggest disappointment of the year, and I honestly don't know because I've been let down a lot this year in a multitude of ways. Bookish as well. Oh wow, that got dark. Probably I would say The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu, because this was everything that I wanted and everything I didn't get. I ranted about this in another video and I put up a review on my blog just saying how much I was so sad this didn't live up to expectations because it promised me a whole lot and then didn't really deliver on any of it. Or the other one would be Crescent City. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. This book could have been really cool. So this cliche, scatterbrained, slut-shamey, whiny book is now taking up space on my shelf for the foreseeable future, and I don't feel very zen about it. Also, hello, I had almost finished filming this video when I realized that I forgot number 6 entirely, so if the light's different, that's why. Number 6 is the biggest surprise, and for that I am picking A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, the sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and the other sequel that I read this year. I say this one surprised me quite a bit because I started off this book expecting a middle book sag, and I was kind of like, I don't really care about the other character that much. The beginning of this other character that we're introduced to is a little bit weak, but by the end of this book, wow, I don't even know what happened. Oh man, we got to see Gray in a whole new light. We got to see this other character who comes in, and she's a badass if there ever was one. I really like her character development. I like how the story's progressing. I like how we're pitting the two main male characters against each other. I think that's going to explode in the third one really well. So just the way that she's continuing that typical Beauty and the Beast retelling that was the first one and really exploring it, making her own. I'm so impressed, and like I think this has major potential to be one of my favorite series of all time. Alright, next up is your favorite new author. Oh, can I just maybe say that it's Erin Latimer, the author of Witches in Ash Ruin, my good friend Erin Latimer, good friend author Erin Latimer. I've known Erin for like 7 years now. I'm so proud of her. We're in writing group together. It was my other channel, The Word Nerds. You should watch. She's great. And you should also pick up her debut YA novel, which is Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer. You heard it here, folks. Get your copies now. It's so beautiful, and it's about sapphic witches with dark magic serial killers. I would have read that and sold it to you as well if she wasn't my friend, because she is. Witches of Ash and Ruin by Erin Latimer, just saying. Number 8 is your latest fictional crush, and I have to say, I don't get crushes on people too often in books. That being said, I will talk about Bastian from Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. Like, yeah, he starts off a little murderous, but then, like, so do I every day before I drink my morning coffee. So not only is this a super cool world to delve into that Catherine Purdy has created with these women that are bone criers that ferry the souls of the dead to the other world, but to do that they need to get animal bones. Bastian is one of the people that's supposed to be killed by our main character, and he's obviously not cool with it, but he turns out to be like a really cool, sweet guy, which is more than I can say about the majority of YA love interests. Not only is he written very well, you know, he's very untrustworthy of this girl who first tried to stab him upon first meeting, but after a while, when he realizes that this whole thing was a mix-up, he's like surprisingly forgiving and sweet and help his friends be the best version of themselves they can be, and is like supportive and caring, and I'm like, wow, actually a surprise cinnamon roll, and I'm not mad at it. He's just so cute. So Bastian, you know, if you ever get tired of what's her name, I also have red hair and an abundance of animal skulls, so you know, call me. Number 9 is to talk about your newest favorite character, and I honestly want to say the entire cast of this book, but I will specifically say Lucien from House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. This is like a teenage Game of Thrones, except with a little less incest. We have children who have bonded with dragons, all being sent to basically compete to be like the head honcho of the kingdom. Jessica Cluess gave us a very large cast, and she handled all of them very well, and I particularly liked Lucien's character because he is a warrior and he's trained for combat, but he doesn't want to hurt people anymore, and I'm like, oh my god, the little baby fruit salad, I just want to give you a hug. But he still like has a really cool sword, so like, sounds like my dream guy, honestly. Seeing him be the warrior son from a very political based family was really cool to see how he tried to bring up this new part of himself and how he tried to interact while some people really try to goad him, and he just seems like a really cool dude. Also, if the light seems to be changing, you're not going crazy. It is in fact getting dark. And I still have half a coffee to go. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. The book that newly made me cry this year is 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. This is about a young girl named January in the early 1900s, as she is the mixed race ward of this rich, influential antiques collector. And it turns out that she comes from a line of people who can open doors to other worlds, and it's her journey discovering that she can do this and kind of realizing why she wants to fulfill this wanderlust that she has inside her. And it's just one of those things that for every storyteller and for every book person you can really identify with just wanting to be able to go to a different world and see their stories and be a part of something bigger than yourself. The writing is beautiful. It really captures the struggle of being both a woman and someone of mixed race at this time period. It's just such a beautiful book overall, and I really highly recommend it to anybody who likes books about books or other worlds, which is basically anybody who reads. You should just read this. Now, number 11, on the other hand, is a book that made you happy, and I'm going to talk about The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This is about a vlogger named Cal who moves with his family to a NASA center when his father gets to be a pilot on the newest mission to Mars, and there he meets all of the astronauts and their families and kind of has this epiphany of like his father as a person and like what he's going through. But then he's also going through this whole media thing with himself and this TV show, and then he falls in love with this boy named Leon who's one of the sons of the other astronauts, and it's just wonderful. Like, yeah, there was some vlogger jargon and some space mumbo jumbo, and that was kind of fun, but it mostly focused on relationships and like being comfortable in yourself enough to want to be in a relationship. And then Leon and Cal's little thing is just so sweet and realistic because they actually talk to each other like real humans should. Wow, what a concept. Everything about this just made me feel so happy and so wonderful, and I just want to give everybody in this a hug and invite them over to my house for like an afternoon barbecue. Wholesome. Number 12 is your favorite book to movie adaptation that you saw this year, and I have not gone to a movie theater in a very long time, as I'm hoping most of you have also not. And because I also have never seen any movie ever, I finally watched the 2000s Pride and Prejudice, and you know, this was pretty good. I wasn't mad at it. As an English major, I have had to read many a Jane Austen book, but this one was a really good adaptation, and I love how awkward the main guy is. He plays such a good Darcy. Obviously, Keira Knightley is a goddess who can do no wrong, and I love that. I've completely forgot that President Snow was, Donald Glover was, wait, Donald Sutherland? I never see anything, okay? No, don't judge me. I think they captured the essence of that era very well. I liked how awkwardly stilted everybody was, kind of hopping around all those pleasantries and the rules of aristocracy. It was good. It was really good. I see what the hype's about now. I get it. Number 13 is my favorite review that I've left this year. Now, I don't really leave reviews on Goodreads, but I do have my own blog, which is always linked down below. And my favorite one that I did this year was for Foul is Fair by Hannah Capin. I say this one was my favorite because I got to kind of go off in my review, which was very fun, because this is a gender-swapped retelling of Lady Macbeth's story, and it is a bloody revenge plot if there ever was one. This should not have been YA, first of all. This is explicit on-scene murder, and the main character is a psychopath, which, as someone who has read Shakespeare over and over again, I really like the parallels that she drew, but as like a random 14-year-old picking this up, I would be horrified. You can see some of my other feelings about it and about character development and general story in my blog post. You can check out that link down below should you decide to. Oh, and we just fixed the light because it is getting darker as we speak. Lastly, number 14 is the most beautiful book that you bought this year, and I feel like whoever made this tag originally just wanted an excuse to show a really pretty book, but like, who doesn't love that? Because The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, aka my new favorite book of my life, is freaking gorgeous. Look at that. Not only is this the most aesthetically pleasing book that I have read this year, which also, now that I realize, is kind of cheating because this came out last year. Time isn't real anymore, okay? Sue me. Besides having just a stunning design, this book is so beautifully written. I know a lot of people are not going to like that. I know a lot of people are not going to like this book because it's very overly prosy, it's very whimsical. The writing is very over the top, but for me, as someone who really likes that extended metaphor, beautiful prose, dark academia fantasy type writing, this was the perfect book for me, and I love everything about it. There is a door in a forest that was not always a forest. The door is no longer a door, not entirely. The door remembers the time when it was complete, when there was a house with a roof and walls and other doors and people inside. There are leaves and birds and trees now, but no people. Not for years and years. So the girl comes as a surprise. Just the way that Erin Morgenstern writes, oh my god, it's so great. So there you have it. There is the mid-year book freako tag for the first time on my channel, and it was a great time. That might also be because I've chugged an entire thing of coffee in inappropriate time of night. Please leave down below if you have your own mid-year book freakout tag, because I've been watching them to death lately in an attempt to stave away my lingering depression. Or you can leave something down below in the comments about something that makes you happy. Like, is it a particular shirt that you own? Is it a certain scent of body wash? Is it a pink banana mug? My laptop's almost out of battery, my camera's flashing that it's overheated, and I am out of energy. So I think I'm going to just spend a nice evening relaxing, maybe reading another book, having a shower, because I'm gross and sweaty now. You know where to click like the video, you know where to click to subscribe. I hope you guys are all having a nice day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!